Hey, I wanted to show the tweaks I've made on my Legion Goal to make it more power efficient, to run cooler and in some conditions have better performance. And conditions are, if you limit your FPS, that will apply to you. Here I have Cyberpunk 2077 menu. My FPS is locked to 45 and I'm using lossless scaling frame gen, so it's 90 FPS if you count generated frames. And here I have stock power profile. Here you can see we're using 27 watts TDP, and in menu CPU clock is like 4.9 gigahertz, which is crazy. And if we try to game, actually I forgot, our TDP settings is 30 watts and we are plugged in. Here, if I run around, my CPU clock is around 4 gigahertz, 3.7, 3.6 to 4 gigahertz with stock settings, and we're using 29 to 30 watts TDP with locked 45 FPS and frame gen. And let me show you my settings. Here in menu we're using now 1.1 to 1.5 gigahertz CPU clock, so it's 9 watt TDP now instead of 25 to 28 that I used to have. So it's running much cooler and less fan noise, which is also good. And if we game like that, you can see we're still using around 30 watts TDP, but our CPU clock is lower and GPU clock is higher, which is good for some especially GPU demanding games. It's not a huge deal in performance, but it will help us later. You don't need power efficiency if you run plugged in, but if you remove the power cable like I did just now, here you can see that we are no longer charging, and when we are not plugged in, you have GPU clock lock on Legion Goal to 1955 megahertz, and with that we are now using only 22-23 watts TDP, while we have a max of 30 watts. So we still have the same FPS as before, but now we use like 8 watt less power, which converts to less heat, better battery life, less noise, and I think it's pretty cool. Again, CPU clock is like 2.3 gigahertz right now. If we start riding the car, it will be like 3 to 3.5 gigahertz because CPU load is higher, but I think it's pretty good thing. Okay, let me again show you the stock settings compared to what we have now. Okay, this is stock. We're using again 28 watts while we not plugged in, so like 5 to 7 watts more power used on battery. With the same FPS, exactly the same FPS. You can see CPU clock is around 4 gigahertz. So this mod is particularly interesting for people who use FPS logs and frame gen like I do. It will save a lot of power in some less demanding games, like I play Metro Exodus, and power usage drops like almost twice in some areas, because it's not a CPU demanding game, and it can perfectly run on 1.2 gigahertz, 1.1 gigahertz. Like, it's very cool, I think. So, how I did it? First of all, I created a power profile in Windows. Then you need to do something to unlock the advanced power settings that are hidden here. I open advanced settings, go to processor power management, and here you can see I have a lot of settings which are not available unless you unhide it. So I will leave a guide how to unhide these settings, and I'll leave my settings as well, so you can all try it out. Peace.